Well, the sun has actually come out today, believe it or not. And Fiona has seized the opportunity to crack on with the windows. She's doing a marvellous job out there. And we've never, ever had it, this boat doesn't leak, dripping in. Doesn't leak from below, which is the best thing, the main thing, but she's really done really well on these windows. This is excellent. Good afternoon, YouTubers. I've been doing some research today, and it never ceases to amaze me how the British have just gone around the world thieving off everyone over the years. I mean, a good example of that anyone can see on the embankment in London, the Cleopatra's Needle, which is an ancient obelisk which was taken from Alexandria. I think it was Alexandria. I mean, we're talking serious ancient Egyptian history here. They just thought, we'll have that. Bung! And they just took it, and it stands to this day on the embankment on the Thames. Came across another one today which I didn't know was there. I was watching a few videos about Gibraltar and this and that, because there's a lot of places that have opened which I haven't been to, because they're opening more and more of Gibraltar up as the years go by, and it's much easier for me to watch it on YouTube and see. Anyway, I came across this column in the Alameda Gardens, which is the botanical gardens just below the Rock Hotel, and it said quite proudly, you know, oh yes, this column was taken from the ruins of Lepida. And I thought, where's that? I had to Google it, find out where it is, and it's an ancient ruin site in Greece, Lepida, and there's all ancient columns from, you know, ancient Greece, and the British rocked up and they just thought, oh, we'll have that, because Wellington had just won the Battle of Waterloo. That's the big one, isn't it? And everyone was into Wellington and praising and marvelling at Wellington and erecting monuments to his memory all over the world. Anyway, they brought this column. It's a great column, not an enormous one, but I mean, a substantial column. And they brought it from Greece to Gibraltar, where they presented it to His Excellency. His Excellency, what a stupid title, His Excellency. You know, why do you call me Excellency? Do you know why they call me, like, remember Sesame Street? The Count. Why do they call me the Count? Ha ha ha. Because he's excellent. Anyway, it's another seriously childish title, isn't it? Anyway, presented to His Excellency this column from the ruins of Lepida in 1820. Just about 5 years after Waterloo. And they said, yes, marvellous, marvellous. And so they proudly erected a big block at the bottom of it to mount the column on, and then they'd put the bust of Wellington on the top. It's on my community page. You want to go check it out? It's there. And they, yes, look at this. This is great. We've got this from the ancient Greek town of Lepida. And isn't it marvellous? What a fitting tribute to the great Wellington. Yeah. And that's just typical of the British, just marching around the world, just helping themselves to whatever they saw fit. And that's what they did, and that's why they had such a bad name, I suppose. Anyway, it's a fascinating thing, history. I love history. I look at loads of history on YouTube. YouTube's a brilliant place for finding out what despicable things everyone got up to, because it wasn't just the British, but the British were particularly good at it. There we go, it's one extreme to the other, look. We go from cabin fever to sunbathing. What are you up to, lover?
Everything.
Oh, well, we've got a lot on there.
Yeah, I'm going to map them in a minute.
This is the one that leaks a little bit, isn't it? So
a little bit. This one, God bless the 1970s. They didn't half love their angles, did they? Everything was like that. Was it skirts were like that, like a lampshade? Trousers were like 2 lampshades. Yes, it leaks here, and this here, if you look, is exactly where it comes.
Running straight down the window.
Yeah, it's taken me hours just to tape all windows up, because you've got to clean them with white spirit. This looks dirty, but that's on the inside. And it took me an hour to walk into Gibraltar and get the paint. Ran out of paint.
Because you don't like the Chinese paint, do you? It went a bit funny.
Well, it was useless, really. I mean, it went hard, but we want a nice gel coat finish. So I need a white hammerite paint. I need gel. I need matte. Brushes, rollers, hardener. Because the guy over there was no hardener, was there? Time, energy, health, you know. I've had this flu on top of everything else because of some person in the house.
And you've been sunbathing today?
No, I haven't been sunbathing at all. Anyway, the front's coming on all right now. I've spent a large proportion of this afternoon, again, taping that up and then using filler to build. It's got resin underneath it where the window frame, you've got to make a window frame that's fused to the glass. So the resin is under this. And then there's filler over the top. And I've got to wait for that to go hard, sand it down, and then until it's perfect, and then more resin goes over the top. I mean, my God. I was looking at Bonham earlier. You know Bonham?
Yes.
That's exactly how Bonham's windows. Bonham is a super yacht over by the office. I'll take the phone over there one day and film it. It's a resident one. It's here it comes and goes, but it's here most of the time. And he's got big windows. And that's exactly how they've made his windows. Modern super yacht. In fact, all the modern super yachts, the resin seems to be, the glass is kind of set into the resin, if you know what I mean. They don't have window frames.
I wonder how they change the glass if it breaks.
Well,
maybe it goes in from behind with sealant.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it obviously just sort of glues and fuses to it.
Yeah.
All old-fashioned yachts like this, they have window frames. We can't have fucking window frames on a boat. Oh my God, I could kill the boat designers from the 1970s. Not any fashion designers, boat designers. Anyway, we're getting there. So in a minute, I'm going to carry on, do some sanding, and then I'm going to be fiberglassing. And it gets dark quite early here now, doesn't it, Graham?
Yes.
We're in November now.
Plus they put the clock back an hour, which...
Yes, that's really helpful. So I'll just floodlight it. I'm going to carry on in the dark.
Okay. Better crack on then.
Yes, I had.
So what are you doing now? Is that the old window tint?
Yeah,
it's just
look.
bleached to be completely clear.
Incredible, isn't it? It's just see-through. So yeah, this window won't leak anymore soon. I'm getting rid of the leaks bit by bit. I'm not actually doing this. I'm actually on Twitter creating a load of fake accounts so I control some dumb cow who makes just as a channel dedicated to going on and on and on about how I'm all over Twitter.
Oh, is that Smelly?
Smelly, she's been doing it for 3 fucking years. And she's not realised yet. I don't care, Smelly. Oh, God. These people. Sometimes I listen to her just out of amusement.
I don't know why you bother.
Well, I went through a phase a couple of years ago of watching people who are schizophrenic on YouTube. They are there. I'm not quite sure why, but they are, and I mean some of them are really severe, and it fascinates me as a condition because, as I said before, I do wonder if they can actually tune into something that we can't hear. I mean, the ones that hear voices, and I'm like, well, maybe it's like radio frequency. They can hear something we can't. Oh, that would drive anybody crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine if you could see someone standing in front of you.
Yeah.
No one else could see him. And you'd be like, look, look, look. You know, and you would. Well, you'd end up going crazy.
That'd be freaky, wouldn't it?
It would. So I mean, like animals can hear things that we can't. So, yeah, I do. I watch that other thing as well that you don't like, Soft Underbelly.
What's that?
The Whittaker family.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, why are you watching that? Why are you watching that?
Good evening, YouTubers. Well, it's been a nice day today. It hasn't rained, and we've got a bit of blue sky knocking around, which is marvellous because we haven't seen any of that for a little while. Look at that. So, what have you been up to, Fiona?
Well, I can finally hear in this ear now.
Why couldn't you hear before?
Because I've had flu. Before the rains came, that's when it kicked in.
Do you think you caught it, a germ, or did you think it was because you were massing in the wind and things?
I think I caught a germ of cleaning from the people in the house. Because we don't come into contact with anybody very often, so the immune system gets like updates every time it meets a new germ. And we haven't had any updates for ages because we don't socialise with anyone really, do we?
Since the chemo, I've kept out of the way of everybody really, as much as possible.
And I've cut my finger.
With the scraper, was that?
Yeah, the scraper's actually a razor. It's a Stanley knife razor blade. And
so you nicked it. And I said...
Nicked it? Fucking hell.
I said, that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Pressure, wine, and relaxation. You can watch some telly. What's on telly?
It's a shame as well, it's my tweeting finger.
Oh no, you won't be able to tweet.
Oh, sorry, I do love to take
accounts.
this. This continual fucking bullshit about me having Twitter accounts and hidden YouTube accounts, and I'm using AI voice. God's sake. Anyway, yeah, that old window tint is really, it's like it and the glass have become one. I mean, really, on that particular window.
Can't you just do it over it?
No, Graham, it's all got to be cleaned, and it's got to be really flat. Otherwise you get wrinkles and bubbles. It's obviously the window that cops for it the most with the sun.
I can't believe it got bleached completely clear.
I know.
I mean, completely clear.
I know, I never thought that would happen.
Can you not wet it to get it off? Spray a bit of water on it and then...
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh yeah, maybe I'll try that instead.
Useful tip.
And it's a massive razor blade type thing.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, I've had enough for today. I managed to get a gel coat on the front three and the side three. It took me like an hour and a half to tape up the new windows. Make sure they don't get resin on them.
Yeah, you don't want to get resin on the new windows, that's for sure.
No.
That would be bad.
I'm working on the front window. It's really irritating. It's that irritating, say, little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of this, little bit of... And you keep standing back and looking at it and thinking, I've been working for hours and I can't see any difference. And then all of a sudden it, all of a sudden it comes good. Well, tomorrow I should have blocked the bloody house out for the whole of October. I made a rod for my own back, 4 different guests, in the middle of rain and trying to fit windows. I should have just gone no.
Well, block it out for next year.
Oh, they're already booking for next year. Don't get me started.
Anyway, I'm all excited.
Why?
Because Diane Durham's up in court on Monday.
Do you know
Leeds
what?
Crown Court, 10:15. And we've got spies in the court. And there's loads of press reporters, and they're all going to want to know if she's going to plead guilty or not. Because she may change her plea, I don't know. It's up to her, isn't it?
Don't give her ideas. She's pleaded not guilty. I think that's quite funny.
Yes.
Do you know what? I haven't really thought about it today.
I have.
If you've seen my legs... I mean,
They're all covered in
no, don't show the people, please.
white stuff. But they're very thin legs. They're very.
They are covered in paint. The inside.
Razor blade will fetch the paint off, dear.
I just can't wait for it to
Just
be
don't
finished
use the scraper.
and over and it's done.
Yeah.
Do you know, I sat here I couldn't get to sleep last night, and I worked it out. I've only been working on this boat this year for a couple of months, really. Our house took me 2.5 years, and we'd already fixed it up. We fixed it up when we first moved in, and then in 2019, August, we had some scammers in the house, and I just cancelled all the bookings, and I became really hermit-like, and I started renovating it. I mean, I thought I'm going to make it really, really bloody perfect, and I was doing it from August 2019 until October 2021.
It was after the lockdown, wasn't it?
It was right. It was before the lockdown, during the lockdown,
And after it.
and after the lockdown. Oh yeah, and then it carried on into 2022. About 2.5 years to do the house. So the boat's not too bad, considering I've done like 2.5 months, and I've made a lot of improvement. I mean, the house, my God. The spiral staircase took 8 weeks just to paint. All the little curly-whirlies. Benji's room, 3 times I had to renovate that, build the wall. So the boat's not so hard, I suppose. Is it?
No. I suppose not.
And someone said to me, remember what J.P. Morgan said, the 2 best days of owning a boat was the day he bought it and the day he sold it, apparently.
That's because he didn't lift a finger and paint anything on his own or turn a screw. He had to pay people, didn't he? So it was obviously they were all having him right over, weren't they?
Well,
Seen JP coming, didn't they?
well,
Just give us another grand.
I mean, you can't have been that rich to worry about it. What I'll give people advice about boats that no one else will ever say. If you buy a boat and you have a house and you just want a boat for leisure, it's a nightmare. Yeah, it will be. Bring on another 1,000. It will be like that because you've got a house and you've got a life, and you just have the boat for leisure, and you've got to pay the moorings all year round, regardless. But if you buy a boat to live on, you'll never look back. Best way to live. Happiest memories, aren't they, really? Lots of fun. And when you live on a boat, it's got all your attention.
Yes. Yeah.
What really went wrong with this boat was when we moved into the house.
And it got neglected all that time.
Yeah, because I was fixing the house.
3 years, really.
Yeah, nearly 3 years. And then all dolphin safari, etc.
I was working it out when we first bought the boat and we were living in Marina Bay. It was about £20 a day. Right, I don't know what it is now, but when you pay for it monthly, it was £20 a day. I think if you pay for it a year in one go, you get a discount. But I was watching Roz. Roz is a YouTuber. She's been taking her little caravan and her dog all round.
Bless her.
She was paying £35 a night, right, to go to a campsite and plug into the electric and put the water on, you know. £35 a night on a campsite in the outer bleeding Hebrides, for goodness sake. I mean, you could understand it if it was in a holiday destination in the summer, next to a fun fair or something like that, but in the outer Hebrides.
I tell you what.
Incidentally, Rod's good channel, check it out. I'll put a link.
Some of my best childhood memories were when my mother was going to it. She was fixing up the house in Scotland.
In the outer
She
Hebrides.
was up to her knees in silicone and filler, and I remember watching her cry. She had a shower cap on and she was beside herself. The woman was trying to rebuild the house on her own with 3 kids, and she towed a caravan up there, parked it on Horgaboss Beach, and me and my sisters, best holiday ever. My mum took the car to Orinsay to fix the house and just left me and my sisters. My sisters are a lot older than me. Wasn't like leaving home alone. My eldest is 13 years older than me and the other one's 7 years older, and I was really little. And playing on the beach, Horgaboss, fantastic. No campsite, just caravan on the beach. That was brilliant. And yeah, we went to the house. My mother, oh my God, she was beside herself, crying and crying and crying. I mean, she really was building a house on her own.
She's got a message
Poor
from Trevor.
woman. I salute you, Mother, wherever you are.
Oh, Trevor gave you a shout out before.
Oh, thank you, Trevor. I haven't seen any YouTube. I haven't watched any YouTube. I haven't checked my emails. I've got something really important I've got to go and print and sign because I'm going to receive some money. I haven't had time to do that. I haven't had time to ring this really important person. But apparently I've got time to waste with cretins and morons on Twitter. That, oh God. And it irritates me, the injustice of it. Being accused of fucking being on fucking Twitter when I'm not on Twitter. My God, and I'm up to my eyes in it. Honestly, that's one of my pet...
You can't...
It's one of my pet hates, Graham.
You can't reason with a moron.
It really is. The injustice. I wouldn't mind if I was fucking guilty and I'd actually fucking done something, but being accused of something you actually haven't done, not guilty at all, and you've got like a massive alibi, you're up to your ears in DIY, and yet you've got these fucking druggy little cretin sugars, and they are druggies, I'm convinced they're on drugs. Cocaine, weed, whatever. Making shit up about people. God's sake, I don't even do that to Markle. I've never accused Markle of taking drugs, or killing anyone, or killing an animal, or making troll.
Didn't we say the Sussex squad? Keep on doing what you're doing. Very good, very good, very good, very good.
I reckon Harry found out about the bill for the Sussex squad.
He's in hiding, I reckon.
Hiding? I bet he's going off his head.
He'll squander more than that in Las Vegas in one night. I shouldn't worry about the bill.
Well,
Daddy's a billionaire.
Thing is, Graham, he's been on the outsies for 6 years now. He's learning what it means, you know, that there isn't a money tree at the bottom of the garden. He's found out, he's like, oh my God, you mean people can actually run out of money? Holy shit, if I'd known that, I'd never have left Pa. I've no sympathy for him. None at all.
Good night. And may your God go with you.